Welcome, Namaste. Happy beginning of the week, everyone. Find a seat that is comfortable. We'll do a short intro as usual, and then we'll go straight to work, okay? So today in the short meditation that we are starting, it's important that you find a seated position that is stable, as we usually try to do, and also comfortable for you. Make sure that you prop your pelvis up in such a way that you do not accumulate strain in your feet, your knees, or your hip joints, okay? When we are very flat and we put a lot of pressure into the hips or the, or we are very low, we apply more pressure in those joints, okay? So it's always good to have a little bit of padding, like a pillow, a cushion, or anything that you have. Okay, let's take the first moment here to settle into the bones at the foundation of your pose. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big exhale through your mouth as a way to settle, land, and also release whatever was happening or going on before coming to this seat. Soften the skin in your face, mainly around your eyes. The skin around the eyes is connected to different organs in your body. So if you soften around your eyes, you're also giving less strain into your internal organs. And we also soften the brain. Cultivate heaviness at your base while simultaneously stretching your spine vertically up. Sense your spinal bones as buoyant as you relax your shoulders over your hips without causing tension, and scanning for a moment your physical body to pick up any information that may be useful for today. Today we'll work in this short meditation in first bringing awareness to all the thoughts that surface in your mind. Perhaps there are bits of conversations, concerns, ideas, maybe obligations. Sometimes there are snippets of songs. Anything that it's kind of like stimuli for your mind that goes through your awareness like the passing clouds. And recognize each of those thoughts as they appear on the screen of your awareness. It's part of the landscape of you. Note your thoughts while reducing your mind's tendency to pinwheel round and round. Now, today, the invitation is to shift your awareness to that which you do not and cannot know, and rest for a time outside the constraints of recognition. So we come to this awareness by resting in the space between the thoughts. Can you come to that place, like the silence that goes together with the musical notes? This place of emptiness is a place of pure potential. in this space, remind yourself that you do not need to know. Today we are shifting the perspective to an open-ended awareness. And we practice being in the not knowing. That place of not knowing, of pure potential, gives us also the chance to stay receptive, open-minded, and be prepared to meet each passing circumstance with a spirit of discovery and surprise. So this is the inspiration and the invitation for today. To make space in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts, by practicing being in the pause, being in the transitions, in those places that become still, where there's nothing that we know. And knowing that in those spaces, in those places, like I just said, there's a lot of potential, there's receptivity, there's creativity, and potential for whatever it is to come. Let's bring our palms together, let the thumbs rest in front of the heart, lift the sternum into your hands to create a little bit more expansion through the lungs. And in case your spine got a little bit slouched, again we lift, feeling that gentle movement of the lower back into the front of the body. And again with a soft face, we are open to start this practice, receptive with a beginner's mind. In gratitude, we open with the Om sound, inhaling deeply through the nose, a big exhale, then breathing in again. Om. Then we connect head, hands, and heart together, the three at the center. Release your palms, let them rest on your lap for a moment. And then lift the head and open the eyes. Welcome again, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to my mat. It's covered by a blankie if you came a little late. So we are going to do several exercises like that. But before I start coming onto my mat and lying down like we do many times when we start, I'm going to take a belt, okay? I already have a loop in my belt, so I invite you to make a loop. It's pretty big because we are going to adjust it. And take your time, no worries. I'm going to show this a couple of times. After I have that loop, I'm going to also bend my knees. You see, I have my knees bent and my feet are in front of me, okay? And what I'm going to do from here is to make sure first that the tail of your belt is on the side of your dominant hand so you can work with it. Like for me, it's my right. And I'm going to get inside the belt. And I'm going to put, this is my helper, I'm going to put my belt right behind the chest, okay? So it's in where my shoulder blades are, at the base of the shoulder blades or the scapulae. And then the other end, I'm going to put it right in front of my knees. And it's right below what we call the patella area, which is like the kneecap, okay? So it's not on top of your knee, but it's knees, sorry, but it's right below, okay? So I have, like I said, my belt behind the chest at the base of my scapulae, and then the belt, it's right in front of me. I need to tighten it a little, so my knees stay more or less hip distance apart, okay? And of course, you're going to put your knees as close to your body as it feels appropriate for you today. I'm going to hold my knees here. This is a really good posture, so tighten your belt until you feel like you're like cinched right inside that little pool, and it's a really good posture for the spinal cord. So you can just lean back for a moment there and feel the sensation of the belt holding, okay? And then from here, you keep holding here, right in the front of the knees. And we are going to do a very gentle movement, but it's very good for all the joints in the body to awaken and create this movement in the metabolism, okay? So what I'm going to do is to just try and push my right knee forward a little. So it's like kind of like going off track, right? And then I'm going to bring it back. And then I'm going with the left, and I'm going to bring it back. And the movement is not big. You're not going to be able to go super far, okay? So you can hold the shins or the knees, and you just push one away and then back. And then the other one away and back. This is also good for knee issues, okay? So we are strengthening the ligaments, and we are creating more activation, like I said, of all the in all the joints, mainly hips and the knees, okay? So I'm going one way and the other just a few times. And maybe you can feel differences between the right hip flexors and the left, okay? So notice that if there's any tension or if it's hard to push one knee in front of you more than the other. Okay, one more time each. Nice. And then we are going to slowly take that out, extend the legs, and keep your belt with you because we are going to be using it quite a bit, okay? From there, I'm going to come on to my quote unquote Shavasana shape and rest for a moment, dropping all the bones onto the blanket and the mat. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And a long exhale. See if you can start inviting that breathing pattern to happen through the nostrils. And if it cannot be done like that, no worries. Just try to make your breath steady. And today we bring attention and awareness into the spaces in between. Like I said before, I like this image of the silence in between the musical notes. So you can perhaps work on that. What happens in the place where there's nothing? Usually that place of stillness is the place where we can find answers. Good. Then very slowly from here, we are going to start by extending the legs and activating them a little bit more, pushing through the heels, activating your quads, your kneecaps, extending through the heels, inner and outer edges of your feet, pushing away, toes pointing up. Notice your lumbars there. If there is a little bit of pain or sensitivity for that, bend your knees, lengthen your lower back and your glutes towards the heels, and then re-extend the legs so you have more of the surface of your lower back touching down. And then from here, we are going to inhale and extend arms overhead. If you have the space, extend both sets, right, of fingers back away from your heels and push through the legs to activate the side body. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale. Good, and now hold opposite elbows and the same thing happens. We are lengthening, drawing the navel down, extending through the heels, lengthening the sides. One full breath. Exhale. And then release the arms to the sides and soften the legs, okay? Keeping the legs soft and relaxed, I'm going to start only with one side. I'm starting on my right. I'm going to slide my leg with the outer edge of the leg sliding into the mat. I'm going to lift my heel up towards my pelvis, like if I want to do the tree pose, and then I'm going to re-extend, okay? We're going to go for 5 on that side. Inhaling, exhale. Go with your breath. Exhale. Now, our minds usually want to speed up, okay? So you probably will want to do the movement, or your ego will want to do the movement really fast. But try and slow that down. Slowing down gives you more chances to discover sensations, things arising. This practice is not only a physical practice, there's thoughts, emotions, the energy, lots of things going on, okay? One more, and then release. And we'll switch for 5 on the other side. Left side, sliding the heel up to the pelvis, and then releasing. As you can see, I'm not lifting my leg off the blankie, okay? So I'm trying to keep it as heavy as I can. And with that, I'm creating an external rotation for that hip on the side that I'm going, and the knee, and also activating the ligaments and the ankle joint, okay? I lost track of the number, but let's add one more to this side. And then release. Good. Perhaps you picked up differences between one side and the other. This is a good moment to do that. Now we'll go with both at the same time. The same idea. Sliding both heels up and then down. And 4 more. Inhaling, trying to keep the legs heavy. Exhale. 3 more. Last one. Good. Take a deep breath in. Stay there for the exhale. Good. And now I'm going to change it a little. Again, I'm going to lift my right knee and my right heel into that tree pose. And now we are going to play with something else. Again, good for the joints and the activation in the knee and the leg, okay? So what I'm going to do is to try and push with my right pinky toe into my blanket and lift the heel. You will feel more activation in the outer side of the hip, maybe the IT band or the hamstring, okay? So I'm pushing with my pinky, lifting my heel for a full breath. And then I'm going to release the heel and try to push the heel and lift the pinky toe off the blankie, okay? It won't go super far, don't worry about that, okay? And again, I'm going to push the pinky toe onto my sticky or the blankie and lift the heel. I'm doing it with my hand in case you don't see my foot. And then I'm going to do the opposite. I'm pushing through the heel and lifting the toes. Got it? Let's go for 3 more. Push the pinky toe side down, lifting the heel. We are contracting the glute there. Maybe you can feel it. And then the heel is down and trying to lift the toes. 2 more. One more. And then release that leg. Notice the activation, maybe a little bit of tiredness, right? Or firing sensation in that hip flexor or the outer side. And we go with the second side for 5. I'm sliding my left leg up. And when you're ready, press into that pinky and try to lift the heel. And then go the opposite way. Heel down, lifting the toes. For 4 more. Press the pinky down, lift the heel. Notice differences between the first side and the second, and switch. It's not big movements, okay? They are subtle movements that help create a lot of movement, internal movement, right, in our system. 2 more. And 1 more. Good, and then extend that leg. Take a deep breath in. And soften on the exhale. Good. Let's bend both knees now. Put your feet on your mat. Lace the fingers. Bring the hands behind the head. And we'll take the cat-cow shape here, starting to ignite more movement in the spine. Inhaling, we arch the lower back, lifting the front chin up. Exhaling, we are going to try and bring the elbows towards one another and up towards the belly. And again, inhaling, arching, opening up the chest, elbows down. Exhaling, drawing everything in, lifting up. 3 more, inhale, opening the throat. Exhale, dragging the belly button in. 2 more, inhaling. Good, then slowly coming down, take a moment here, bring the arms out to the sides, and with the feet wide, we are going to let both knees drop over to the right. You can use a pet as a support if you need. Take a deep inhalation, relax the shoulders, make them heavy. Good, and then bring both knees up towards neutral and send the knees over to the opposite side. Just feel the sensations there. This creates internal and external rotation for both legs and hips at the same time, but opposite legs, right? And then we come back to the center. Now I'm going to take my belt again, and I'm going to make it shorter loop than what I had before, so I can make it hip distance apart, okay? So I'm going to measure more or less. Usually I go towards the inner hip distance apart. And once you have that, take your time, no worries. I'm going to put the belt right around my ankles and the very end of my feet, okay? I hope you can see it. That belt is there. I'm going to actually make it a little tighter for me so the feet stay hip distance apart, okay? So while I have that, wait, I want you to be able to see me more. Okay, while I have that, I'm going to extend my legs up towards the ceiling. They are vertical. I'm trying to keep the full back portion of my pelvis pressing down onto the blanket. And what we're going to do first from here is to hold that tail of your belt and bring your arms overhead and pull, okay? So I have like a triangle that I'm drawing with my body as I'm pushing through my heels and I'm extending the arms overhead, okay? Stay there, bring the belly button in and activate the fronts of your legs. So the muscles in the front, quads, kneecaps, the shin muscles there, hug everything into the bones and push through the heels, okay? Keep that, and we are going to do a little game here. I'm going to point my toes up towards the ceiling as much as I can, like a ballerina, and then I'm going to flex and bring my toes towards my nose, okay? And again, you go as far as you can, point the toes as far up as you can, maybe making space in between those toes, and then bringing the toes in, okay? There's a lot of work there, again. Point, point, point. This is good for your knees as well. And then flex as much as you can. Send those heels up, up, up. Good. One more. Beautiful. Release that. Bend the knees. Take that belt out. Put it on the side for a moment. Hug the knees in and rock gently from side to side. Good. Doing a few circles. Nice. And then you're going to roll over to one side, possibly the side where you can see me, and come onto your side. I'm going to switch it so you can see my face because my helper is here. We don't need the belt. We are going to lie down sideways. And if you need, like I usually say, an extra blankie or pillow for the head, you can put it in between your face and your arm, okay? My underarm is extended. I'm not going to do a lot of fancy stuff here, just trying to keep the body completely straight into a line. You can have your upper hand supporting you in front of you. Doesn't matter which side you are on. push through the heels as much as you can, and feel the underside of your body grounding into the sticky, okay, or the blanket. And then from there, I'm going to lift my upper leg, and I'm going to really activate that upper leg, pushing through the heel as much as I can. Now, usually the hips will want to be or go back, right? Like pushing the sitting bones back. So see if you can bring your glutes towards the front of your pelvis. I always say this. So we create more strength in the core. We drag the belly button up towards the chest. And now I'm going to do a few pumps, keeping that upper leg super straight, pushing through the heel. So I'm going up and down. You can see that I'm not touching my under leg, okay? I just keep that leg super straight. This is also very good to strengthen the ligaments in the knees, right? Of course, we are working the hips also, but I'm a little bit going into the knee joint today with some of this work, okay? So pushing up and down, pumps. Good, a couple more. And then release, notice the sensation. Good. Come onto your back, take a deep breath. And after your exhale, sensing that side, roll over to the second side. I'm coming over this way. And we do the second side, okay? Again, if you want that padding in between the head and the arm, you can do that. If not, no. Make sure that you're creating a stick-like figure with your body, and that you bring the sacrum into your body, drawing like a zipper from the belly button up to the nose, okay? From there, I'm going to extend both legs as much as I can, pushing through the heel, then lift that upper leg and stay there for a moment. Bring the glutes into the front of your pelvis and push through both heels, underside of the body really grounded, extending that side. And then we go with a few pumps going up and down. It's not a super fancy shape, okay? Or nothing like super complicated. What we are working is in contracting those front leg muscles and really extending through the heel to open up the back of the leg and create more strength into the ligaments and the joint in the hip, the knee, and the ankle as well, okay? A few more, I'm going up and down. You may feel it in your glutes, in your hips. Good, and then I'm staying there for a little more. Push through the heel, one more breath. Good, and then exhale and release. Come back onto your back for one more breath. A full breath for nothing to find the pause. Good, and then we bend the knees, we roll over to the side, and we come into a hands and knees position just for a moment. Beautiful, here it is, this the beginning, okay? I'm still using my blankie just for a little bit more, okay? From here, I'm going to keep my hips and my knees in the same distance, and I'm going to walk my arms in front, and I'm going to start pushing the mat, but my palms will go one on top of the other, right in front of my nose, right in the line of my nose towards the top of the mat. And doesn't matter which palm is on top, push one palm onto the other one, extend the sides, and bring the chest down. Feel the opening there in the chest, the collarbones, relax the head. The head can always be supported by a pillow if you need, or a block, and help your hips go up by pushing the mat away or the blankie with your palms, okay? Let the shoulder blades move towards one another, and also let your sitting bones widen, okay? Breathing in and out. Nice, then lift up just for a moment and switch the palm that it's on top, put the opposite one, press one on top of the other, and again we go one more time for 2 breaths. Activating the underside of your arms, armpit, chest. And then we push up and we come back into the hands and knees. From here, shoulders now are right above my wrist. I'm spreading my fingers, and we're going to do a few pelvic circles, sending the hips back and down, to the side, forward, and again back. Do at least 3 on one side, and then you reverse it, okay? And if you want, and naturally it feels like zigzagging, adding a little bit of side opening, bending the elbows perhaps, or moving the shoulders a little bit more, please do. There may be some clicking sounds, which are very normal when we are opening the joints and making our body a little bit more flexible and mobile again, okay? After we wake up usually. Good. After you have that and you did it, then you're going to move your blankie out to the side so we can use the sticky again, okay? Beautiful. If you need to do any modifications for the shapes that I'm going to be doing for this second portion of the class, then you can always add more props than the ones that I'm using, or take some suggestions for what I'm going to say for modifications, okay? We go back into that tabletop. This time I'm going to spin my fingertips just a little bit towards the sides of the mat, so my hands have my index fingers pointing forward instead of my thumbs. And then from there, the base of the thumbs are really heavy onto the sticky. I'm going to move my knees a few inches behind the hips, wide feet, make your toes go under, start pushing the mat away like we did with that puppy pose before, and lift the sides, send the sitting bones up and back, relax the head, let the neck be long, and notice here, you can see that my knees are bent. So I'm staying with my knees bent for this first one, so I can lengthen the sides, push my chest towards my thighs, outer shoulders, they are moving towards my hips to open up the chest, and drop the contents of your brain, let them come down towards earth, okay? Notice the tendency for the mind to try and fix things, change things, make you move. See if you can rest in the pause, in between all of those thoughts. That's very natural, right? That's our tendency, our habit. Then walk your dog a little by pushing one heel down and then the other, again, maybe clicking sounds or snapping. And we are activating the legs a little more here. And then whenever you feel ready to become more still, keep both heels evenly pressing towards the end of the mat. Active arms, outer shoulders back, relaxing the neck, drawing the pelvic floor up and lengthening the lower ribs towards your hips. Okay, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And whenever you feel tired, you can bring your knees down, okay? If you're okay, from here, we walk towards the top of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. Drop the torso over the legs, bending the knees if you need, and putting any blocks or props in front of you for support. Let everything drop. Bring your hands to your shins. Inhale halfway, opening the chest, belly up. Exhale and fold. Again, the same. Inhaling halfway, broaden collarbones, drag the belly up. Exhale. This last time, we press through the feet, arms to the sides. We come all the way up to standing. Hands to the center. And we release into the mountain pose. Good. Feel your feet. Drag the energy of earth up through your feet into your whole system. Your legs are very steady with the actions that we did when we were lying down. So we want to hug the flesh of our muscles into the bones. Sacrum long like a plum going to earth. Feel the power of your legs to help the rest of your body lift up and feel light, okay? Let's go from here. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, we dive down. Inhaling halfway, we lengthen. Exhaling, we fold. Press through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to heart. One more. Inhaling, arms up. Lengthen, open the chest. Exhale. Halfway, we lift the heart. Exhaling. All the way up. Back to the center we go. And release. Good. From here, we send the arms up overhead. Lace your fingers and the index fingers pointing up to the skies. Push, push, push through the heels. Again, those active legs. Glutes are steady and very fired up to go over to the left, opening up the right side. Chest moving up towards the skies. Back to center we go. Second side when you're ready. Sacrum long, go over to the side. Good, back to center. Releasing, we fold. One more time, halfway up. Drag that navel towards your heart. Exhale, plant your hands, walk back to downward facing dog. Good. From here, we are going to come into a plank pose, holding for a moment, pushing the mat away, push the heels back, lift the inner thighs up, and send your outer hips down. Good. Push, 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 and make those shoulder blades be steady behind the heart. Use your knees if you need for the first descent down to the mat. Take a moment here, okay? Before I do the regular cobra, I want to change it a little bit. I'm going to tuck my toes, push my heels back, bring my forearms in front of me and my palms one on top of the other, okay? So a little simpler way in here. I'm going to push through the heels, send the sacrum down, and just as I push with my forearms, I'm going to lift the chest and the shoulders back. Push, push, push through the heels so we activate those legs and knees and heels, ankle joints. Inhale here. Exhale. Collarbones wide for one more breath. Then release. Good. We have the toes tucked already, so hands under the shoulders. We go back up, downward facing dog. Good. A sequence that you're going to follow me, okay? We are all good here. You know all the shapes. We are just going to play a little. Inhaling, right leg goes up and back. Right foot comes forward. Squeeze inner legs. Push through the back heel, lengthen the spine. Left hand to a support like a block or your sticky if it's close by. Twist over to the right. Rock those shoulders back. Send the right hip back. Lean into that pause and be with what you don't know. That space of potential, of openness, of receptivity. So we can be more fluid with what happens in the moment, okay? Then we release that right hand down, squeeze through the inner legs, lengthen the spine. If you need to bring your back knee down, you do that, okay? We come up into the crescent lunge. I'm lacing my fingers again, trying to put my second thumb on top, the one that feels unusual, okay? Good, lengthen through the sides, draw the navel up. One more breath. Good, and then I'm going to open the back foot down so I can come into the warrior two. Beautiful, let's drop the hips. My right leg is in front. I'm going to reverse the warrior for a full breath. Good, then I'm coming back towards the warrior. I'm going to straighten the front leg. Of course, you can keep the knee micro bending if you have any issues there in the knee. I'm particularly going to keep it a little bit bent because of my ankle that it's still injured. So the idea is to extend those muscles. I'm still hugging the muscles into the bones. From here, I'm going to, again, go to the reverse version of the triangle this time. Good, back to center. Nice, good. From here, I'm going to take the regular triangle pose. I'm going towards the right, lengthening and lengthening both sides, spinning the chest and the belly up, trying to make my left ribs move down towards my hips so I can lengthen more of the underside. Opening the chest. Good. Inhale, come up. Good, now I'm changing it. Bring that right foot in and both heels, they are going to move in a little. You can see it, so I can come into the goddess shape, bending my knees. Hips heavy. Good, stay with that. We are going to inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale through the center. One more, inhaling. Exhale. Nice. Push, come up. Now turn your right foot in, left foot out. I'm going over to the other side, warrior two. So now we are facing towards the back of your mat, okay? Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, reverse. Good, we come back. And from here, you may need some support, maybe not. I'm going to put the right hand onto my right hip, lengthen the left side over to the left, and try and come up into the half moon. Use your blocks. If this is too much, you stay in your triangle pose. Squeeze the glutes into one another. Lift the chest up to the skies. If you want, you add the right arm up, maybe the head. Push through that right heel, make that right leg super active like we practiced when we were lying sideways on our mats, okay? Same idea. Hug that glute in, push through the heel, activate those muscles into the bones. Good, now from here, I'm going to take my right hand down, hips are facing down towards the back of the mat, right foot comes down, I'm in a lunge on the other side, okay? Lengthen through the spine, hands back down, left leg back to plank, lower chaturanga, inhale to cobra, exhale, up we go, downward facing dog. I know you're going to say, but now I'm in the back of my mat. No worries, we are going to come back, okay? So now we are going to start the whole same sequence with the right foot again, so we can come back to the beginning. Right leg goes up and back. Right foot comes forward. Squeeze through the inner legs, lengthen the spine, left hand down, twist over to your right. Right hip goes back, shoulder blades into one another, lean into that space where there's nothing. The silence in between the activity. Release that right hand, lengthen, squeeze inner legs. Imagine you're holding a big pillow in between your thighs. We come up, Crescent Lunge. Beautiful, you're going to see my back, but we're going to turn this into a warrior two. Right leg is in front, drop the hips, press into the outer edge of your back foot. Inhale, reverse. Back to warrior two, straighten the front leg. Now we reverse the triangle. Squeeze the glutes into one another, open that chest, feel that opening in the right side. Good, we come back, lengthen, we are going into the regular triangle shape. Good. Lift up. I know you see my back, but you can do it. Good. And now again, we're going to go into that transition. So I'm going to turn the right foot in, both heels in, and I'm coming into that goddess shape. 2 times. Again, we inhale, arms up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Press up. Turn the right foot in, left foot out, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse. Back we go. And now we take that balancing posture if you choose to, okay? Lengthen the torso, touch down, right hand down. I need a little bit of space, so I'm moving my foot. And then from there we go up. Opening the chest up to the skies. Glutes in, sacrum long. Push through your right leg, activate that side. Open up if you want through the arm. Nice. Slowly bring that right hand down. Hips facing down. Touch down with the right toes. We are back into our lunging posture. Lengthen through the spine. Hands down. Left leg back to plank. Option here to take your vinyasa or skip it if you're tired. Roll the shoulders back. Lift through the front spine. Exhale. Tucking the toes. Up we go. Down dog. Bring your knees down and oh yes, child's pose. A moment to rest. Take a few breaths. And this is the official opportunity for all of us to return to silence, stillness, and the opportunity to sit with that empty space. The empty space where you can find receptivity, openness, fluidity, like a blank page. Two more breaths. Good, and then we slowly sit up. I usually like to have an extra padded support for my sitting bones. We are going to come to a sit, so I'm adding a little bit of height for me, and we are going to cross the shins in a simple way, crossed sit, Sukhasana, and you're going to choose which shin goes in front. It doesn't matter, then we are going to change it, okay? From here, we are going to take a deep inhalation to send the arms up overhead. With the exhale, right palm goes into the left knee, left hand behind. Feel the grounded support through the sitting bones and leg bones. Lift the spine, twist over to your left. Shoulders down, chin is off the chest. Drag that left shoulder back. And this twist is mainly abdominal and thoracic spine, okay? So the sitting bones, the hips, they stay steady down. If you can, you bring your chin over to the right. Beautiful. We return to center slowly, and we go on to the other side. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Beautiful, don't rush. And then I'm coming over, left palm to the right knee, right hand behind. Inhale, lift. Drag the right side of your chest a little further back to the right. Relax the left shoulder. that right shoulder blade is moving in behind your heart, okay? And then if you feel steady there and stable and the neck feels fine, you can bring the chin over to the left. Take a couple of breaths, softening the skin in your face. Notice if there's any snippets of thoughts, to-do list, or things that are worrying you in this moment arising. See if you can bring the awareness to the end portion of that, the places in between. We come back to center slowly. We're going to change the shin that is in front, so just switch that. We keep the support that we have. One more time, we're going to inhale, arms up overhead, and lengthening and lifting off the pelvis. We are going to extend the arms forward, the torso, and let ourselves round at the end and drop everything. It doesn't matter how far you're going. If your hands are close to your legs and you're staying more upright, that's also great, okay? Just make sure that you listen to your body and you follow what feels enough for you today. As we bow in, another chance to dive down into our center and find that place that it's completely empty, without the rush, without the striving, without the judgment, that place that it's completely blank and gives us the gift of choosing how we are going to fill it in. In that center, we find always loving awareness and kindness for all that arises. Then we slowly walk back up into a seated position. We are going to extend the legs and wiggle them a little. I'm going to take out my prop so I can come down onto my mat again. If you want to have a block with you close by, if you have it already there close by, keep it. We are coming onto our backs for a bridge pose. If you know this posture and you're good to do it like the regular way, please do. If you want to make it a little bit more restful, you use a block under your pelvis to lift you up, okay? So from here, what we are going to do is to use our feet to ground, the knees stay steady over the ankles. I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades in towards the back of my chest, lengthening the lumbars down towards the heels. Once you feel that opening already before the beginning of the shape, then you are ready to lift off, okay? So I'm pushing through the feet, activating my glutes, sending the sacrum in, and walking again my shoulder blades towards one another. You can either lace your fingers behind you or catch your mat, or pick the version that feels more appropriate for you. In this one, we have a lot of activation through the hamstrings and the glutes, sending that sacrum in, lifting the outer hips, sending the inner thighs down. Stay there for another breath or two. I'm just showcasing, if you are using the other version, any height of your block goes under the sacrum to support the pelvis in a steady way, so it's neutral. And from here, again, you open up through the chest, and you stay in this more gentle version of the same posture, which gives you the same benefits, okay? Good. One last breath. Then we slowly come down or take the prop out to return. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Put the soles of your feet together, letting the knees go out to the sides, hands to the belly, just for a moment. Soften everything. Super. From here, we bring the knees back towards one another, hug them into the chest again. You can hug yourself, bringing your arms around the shins, rocking a little bit from side to side. We are coming towards the end, okay? I may go over a couple of minutes. From here, arms to the sides, both knees twisting to one side. Doesn't matter which one. Drop the shoulder blades, let the chin come over to the opposite side of your knees, and rest there for 2 breaths. Super. Then you slowly bring both knees back to center. Keep the shoulders grounded. Bring both knees over to the other side. Nice. Let those knees drop. Relax the shoulders, the upper back, and bring your chin over to the second side. Then we slowly return to center. Beautiful. And we come towards Shavasana. So if you have the opportunity in your room to use a wall and put the legs up a wall, that's a really nice way or restorative way to end the practice. If you are not for that today, just find your shape in Shavasana with all the pillows, props, eye pillows, anything that you want to add to make the last posture, which is the most important one, restful and easeful, to invite release and also recalibration for your whole body, for your mind and your heart.